What's up, everybody? It's your boy Osmosis Jones, and we're back at it again with another action figure conversation. Today's guest is none other than Crossbones from the Crimson Dynamo wave. Uh, for those of you who don't know much about Crossbones, Crossbones is one of the villains from Captain America. Also dealing with Captain America. He's had some things with Black Widow. He's been uh, in a few teams like the Thunderbolts. He's been part of Hydra. He's been a henchman for Red Skull. The list goes on and on and on. He's also appeared in the MCU. I think it was Captain America: Winter Soldier, uh, and in that movie, they kind of did him extremely dirty. Like they just kind of made him as like a low class villain or um, leader of a tactical team, and I just feel like the MCU did not do him justice. But if you pick up a comic book that has Crossbones in it, you will see really who Crossbones is. But let's get into this figure a little bit. Um, as you can see, Crossbones, to me, Crossbones came with a good bit of accessories. Um, in his hands right now, he has two, looks like sawed-off shotguns. Um, we've seen those before. I believe it came with the cable from the Sasquatch Build-A-Figure wave. Um, but, I mean, I think those are very fitting for Crossbones. He also came with two of these lasers, kind of like space age laser guns that we've seen those before. I believe it was with Yarnrog from the Captain Marvel wave. Um, so, I'm not gonna be one of those guys that say like, oh well, those guns are crappy, blah blah blah. I mean, you know how Marvel Legends go. Like, if they give us any kind of extra accessory, me personally, I'm gonna take it and be appreciative of the fact that Hasbro stuck some more bang in there for my $20. So, getting back to Crossbones, we see that his body build is that classic Hyperion mold. A lot of folks tend to talk about that and say that they hate that body, but I feel like it's still a pretty, it's still a usable buck, I guess you could say. It fits Crossbones a little bit. I mean, I probably would have liked it to be on the Omega Red body just for the butterfly joints because, Crossbones is, uh, I guess you could say he's really skilled in hand-to-hand combat, martial arts, and things like that. So he might have had a little bit more range of motion in the shoulders and things like that. But you can still get him posed up into some pretty decent fighting poses with this Hyperion body mode. I mean, I'm sure somebody down the line will customize him on an Omega Red body, and we'll be able to see that on Instagram, Facebook, or whatever. But for me, I dig this body. Um, some of the new things that they did throw on this Hyperion body mode are these boots. Um, if you have the Marvel Legends Rage figure, these are the same legs and same boots, so they do share that. Um, and this and his harness here, or his utility belt and holsters, that's all new. I haven't seen it anywhere else, and I'm not sure about these wrist pouches either. That might be new, but I can't remember seeing that on anything else. But yeah, that's some of the new things there. I mean, his articulation again. If you have any other figures like Gladiator or Bishop, Cottonmouth, Ex Nihilo, anything else that's been on this Hyperion body mold, you know what the articulation is. But I mean, I'll go over that a little bit. Um, but yeah, like this, his mask, I think is done very well. Um, this would have been cool if it was a little bit more posable, but I mean, I still like it like it's a little windswept, like so it looks cool. Uh, Mine doesn't really have any bad paint apps. I mean, there's a couple of little misses, like a little black missing here on the shoulder, and a little smudge off the white of the crossbones on his chest. But other than that, uh, he looks pretty dope to me. I mean, that kind of stuff, I would just say that looks more like it's some damage from, being in a scrap, Cap or any other of the Avengers. So, articulation, again, like I said, it's pretty much, it is exactly as same as the rest of the Hyperion body molds. His shoulders, you can get them bad boys to go up, fairly far, so they can go up about like that. Of course, they have the complete 360 range, double jointed elbows, they go up about that far. Cool thing is, with these trigger hands, he does have the like roll of the dice hinge, so that always is good for a character who's shooting guns, you know, because that side to side hinge does not look good with that. Um, his grip on his hands is really good for these guns, as well as his lasers that he comes with, so you don't have to worry about his guns falling out at all. Only thing I wish that they could have made the hands a little bit more centered, because even if you're trying to get him in a decent shooting pose, you can't get his hands too far in unless you turn these guns. If you can see what I'm talking about there, you gotta almost turn the guns towards the target, and hopefully they stay in place for him to be able to look like he's shooting straight. Head is on a standard hinge. He can look up about that far. He can look up about that far. Looking down, he can pretty much touch his chin to his chest there, which is good. Ab crunch, he can go back that far. He can crunch forward about that far. Legs, he can split out about that far. Double jointed knees, of course, but because of how muscly these legs are, it doesn't matter. They could have gave us a single joint there for real, and they still would have worked the same amount. He has boot swivel, so that boot can do a complete 360. They can go down about that far. They can go up about that far. And of course, there is some ankle pivot, but I feel like how far that pin sits to the front, it does not really help us with any kind of posing, though. So all that's there. I mean, I would say that this figure should get probably 8.5 out of 10 if I was to grade it, because I just like it. I mean, he just looks tactical as shit. Is a good addition to the comic shelf. You can pretty much hook him up with any other baddie, and he can be a good henchman. Or if you wanted to have him with his own crew of Hydra soldiers or whatever, you could definitely do that. Yeah, so if you haven't picked this guy up already, I suggest you go out and do that. Also, if you have any other guns, you can definitely hook him up with that. With those, to give him more of an array of weapons. Also, if you want to give him a little bit more of a tactical look, If you have the Nuke um, figure from the giant Ant-Man, or yeah, giant man Ant-Man wave that came out a few years back, you can take that vest off a Nuke and use that for him. Uh, I have Nuke right here, so just bear with me for a second. Yeah, so here's Nuke. I'll put him in the back a little bit. So yeah, you could take that vest off of him, add that to crossbones if you'd like, and give him another look or a little bit more of a style there for you. Also, that vest comes with like a big, like hunting type knife, so that can be used for crossbones as well. Yeah, so you can mix and match parts with him, and just to get him to look in the way that you want him to look, and it will definitely turn this figure into a 10 out of 10 for you. So there we are for today. I'll check you guys next time. Peace.